We're looking at the story of Joseph and his brothers in chapter 50 of the book of Genesis, the last chapter of the first book of the Bible. And the death of Jacob has created a new situation, and now the brothers fear that Joseph has been waiting for the death of his father to do payback time for the sinful brothers who've sold Joseph into slavery. And so Joseph has to deal with this new situation. Okay, so I want you to think about what they were asking from him and think about what he gave to them. You see, what they asked of him, the forgiveness they asked, was suggested by what was going on in their own minds, right? They expected vengeance. Now, where did they get that idea from? They got it from themselves. They got it from what they would do if they were in a similar situation. The things that you put onto other people, the world that you live in, depends upon the state you are in your own brain. If you're really suspicious, then you're going to see people trying to cheat you wherever you go. They understood vengeance only too clearly. And they thought that that's how Joseph was going to reply. They took it for granted that he'd do that. Now, we all do the same. What we are inside governs the way we look at the world on the outside. We suspect according to our nature, and we look on other people as we feel. It's true. And it's positive and negative at the same time. If you spot liars all the time, it just shows that you have a problem with the truth. And if you believe in people, it's a positive thing. It shows that you have faith in them. Okay, so you've either got a problem with truthfulness or you're blessed with faithfulness. Suspicion proves character, and so does faith. We believe, and so we find. So here's the point. They didn't really know what Joseph was like. They thought he was like them, mean. They were safe with him. When he received the news, he wept. But they didn't know that they were safe with him. They thought that ancient grudge had stored up hate and was about to explode into revenge and waiting the death of the father Jacob to be unleashed. Now, this is the point. The mistake that they were making is the mistake that we sometimes make towards God. Do you hear me? We think that God is like us. And so we impute to God our own narrow-mindedness or prejudice or unpleasantness. We think that the sin that we've committed is an injury against him and he's waiting to get us. It's like a personal affront. But really what sin is a contradiction of our true selves. Right? It's a contradiction. We are designed for righteousness. We are designed for grace. We are designed for relationship with a holy and a sinless God. We're designed for that. It's the sin that's the aberration. And we are just disfigured by our own sin. But we expect that God resents our bad behaviour and is ready to whop us. So we say, Father, forgive me. Please, don't hit me. Don't hit me. I'm really, really sorry. You see? Is that good enough? If we squirm enough, do you think that that'll be sufficient? That God won't punish us? It's so pathetic thinking of it that way, isn't it? Do you think God can be bought off by our prayers or our impassioned behaviour? Or some kind of John Cleese sort of style of emotional display. Well, not a bit, not a bit. It's all so much deeper, isn't it? God's forgiveness is recreation, it's regeneration, it's the beginning of real life again in us. It's much, much deeper. It's quality and not quantity. A quality of life, not a quantity of sins that have to be paid off. That's €5 for the broken window. You can't buy God's buy off God's vindictiveness, because he's not vindictive. He's loving. But neither, listen carefully, neither can you use your praying to avert the consequences of your sin. The consequences stand, don't they? If you've spoken a word against someone, the word cannot be unspoken. And the sin that was done against Joseph cannot be undone. It's done. It's done. The past cannot be changed, but it can be redeemed by what you do in the present, by your forgiveness. You cannot change the past in your own life, but God can redeem you in the present from it. Do you hear it? But God's love can't be bought or sold. Get a life, man. Okay, God bless you. Think about it.